I thought it would be a mistake to just do a part 4, to try to somehow just do another one and essentially fail at doing that.
Part of Ape School was working directly with Andy Serkis, which for me was insane.
We just had a meeting like about my hair or something, and before I know it, he's like under the table, pretending to be a feral human.
And you go, whoa, and then
I'm OCD, so once I grab onto something, I can't let it go until I figure it out.
Don't have to worry about what this looks like. It's all about the dots.
I've ridden donkeys, but I've never ridden horses.
The first day, I cried. Noah like got put under the spotlight and made feel really uncomfortable. Sass cried. You know, it was very intense, and we were like, oh my gosh, what is this? Take me back to drama school days.
Hey guys, it's Max, and we are about to hear from the cast and crew from the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I'm so excited about this movie. I'm a huge fan. These movies mean so much to me, and it's not just because of like the characters. I think it's also because of the development of technology and what they've been able to do now with these movies. It's pretty spectacular. It's been directed this time around by Wes Ball, who's done all the Maze Runner movies. I also love the fact that he's daring and bold, and he's thought, I'm going to do this and I'm going to create something brand new, a brand new trilogy that probably the diehard fans are going to be highly critical of and maybe reject. It shows that he really believes in what he's doing, and he's also going to hopefully bring a brand new stamp to films that we've all grown up absolutely loving.
Part of Ape School was working directly with Andy Serkis, which for me was insane. I think it's the only time I've ever been truly starstruck. I think the first time we met on Zoom, he thought I was a little strange because I just like forgot how to function as a person. But he was so. Of course, he was so brilliantly helpful in helping us, find our characters and helping us tweak our characters and look at how the technology works with what we're doing. And so we had these sessions with him where we would do stuff in volume, where we would look at the avatars on the screen and like tweak things. But beyond that, he was kind of instrumental in us creating this world for ourselves of, where this Planet of Apes is now. We would have these long discussions with him about our characters and our backstories and who we are and what our society is, and he would ask these questions. And like, we all, all of us apes kind of looked at each other afterwards being like, wow, no wonder he's who he is, because he's asking things that none of us even thought of.
It's probably the first or second audition tape I saw was Owen Teague. And immediately, I mean, it was no question, oh my God, he's Noah. He's the guy. And he was acting like an ape. I think he was doing it across his girlfriend in his small New York apartment. And he was just acting like an ape, doing these lines, all this stuff, right? And it was just so obvious, like, that's him, that's him. We kept searching, of course, but I just kept saying, it's him. And Owen's just a delightful guy. He's super nice, super innocent, the hardest worker you could possibly imagine. I mean, the movie really, he carried the movie on his shoulders through the movie. He set an example for all the actors in the movie and how to kind of go about doing this role in a very hard, tough shoot. And he had to learn all these all the extension, the arm extensions things, and go through the process of the dots and all this stuff, right? And yeah, it's just, like I said, it's a miracle that we found him. He did a fantastic job. He was really one of the greatest actors I've worked with.
I just immediately felt safe with him. I don't know, he provides a really nice, like, kind of safe energy, and also I managed to, as the shoot go on, eke out this kind of naughty Owen, which was fun. Like, we just started having so much, like, just laughing around on set constantly, and yeah, I don't know, he's like so much fun, as well as also just being like really you know, making me feel safe, and is just really kind and very generous.
I have a really complicated relationship with her because she's smart and she's on a mission like I am, and I think she's alone. I think that she's lost everything, and so we kind of bond over this shared aloneness, which then, of course, again, turns out to be a complete lie. But we really, in the middle of the film, we really kind of develop this friendship that is totally unexpected to me because she's a Echo, and Echoes suck, which of course is then all shattered because she just lies all the time. But we still have to work together, which is interesting later on in the film because I can't trust her, but I have to be with her.
She's being driven by the fact that people before her didn't succeed at this mission, and that's part of the fire in her to succeed, or to at least try. And even if she dies trying, it's kind of all she's got.
You know, we'd be on set, and out of nowhere, Owen Teague would see me, and we would go into these, he would just start these improvisations. He invited me into this world that he's been in, and we would go off for like a half hour doing these improvisations, and developed so much subtext between us, and just a brilliant guy, brilliant actor.
You know, when you're put in a position of like danger, or sort of truth comes out, and so you discover that there's a connection between Noah and Suna, and Anaya's always like, what about me? Because he's dealing with being a third wheel at the end. But yeah, we have a really strong bond, and I like to say that if one of us goes down, we all go down together.
Anaya is the rat bag, I think, you know, which in a beautiful way, and what I love about Anaya and what is so complex about Anaya is that, and you know, to most people that have that sort of cheekiness or bravado, it comes from a place of you know, there's been some hurt. You know, I think Anaya is probably the smallest of the group, easily to be picked on when younger. So these two friends, you know, protect him.
I've been doing post-apocalyptic setting stuff for quite a while now, actually, even before I became a director. I've been making shorts that have been following this stuff, and I've always liked the romantic notion of starting over, of something new happening, right? And so I didn't want to do kind of the smoldering ashes of a world thing. And obviously, and I think in Dawn and War in particular, you do kind of set up this idea that mankind is on their last breath, essentially, and you know, infrastructure is almost gone. And you leave that last movie with essentially seeing humans destroying themselves in a final kind of battle. And so I thought what was going to be really fun is to have a big cut, you know, in our case, a couple hundred years, where what would happen when humans are gone, essentially. And the setting is really like in the remains of our world. And I love the idea that buildings and, you know, what's left of buildings anyway are crumbling away, and glass doesn't exist anymore because it's all broken out through the erosion in time. And I love the idea of just, you know, the world is transforming back into this landscape, essentially. And so we were going to start the movie that way too, where these mountains that we find a bunch of apes climbing, they're actually buildings, but they're overgrown with trees, whole giant trees that are growing out of these things, and it creates these really kind of beautiful to look at, but also kind of haunting underneath this sort of memory of what our greatness, humanity's greatness.
What I love about Wes is that, first of all, I got a shirt that's older than Wes, and he has such glee at making movies. When he's describing the scene, he can't help himself but to act it out, but not just what the actors are doing. He does the bombs and the wind and the gunshots, or there aren't any gunshots, but he says, and you come in, you go, whoa, and then, I hope it didn't offend him, but he was trying to describe something to me yesterday, and I said, don't act it. Just say clearly what you're getting at. Stop acting it.
His directing style is awesome because he just gets into the zone, and when he does, he's like, all right, so I'm gonna get the camera from here, you're gonna stand right there, and we're gonna get a shot from here. It's gonna look awesome. I'm gonna make you look awesome. And it's just like, can you just do that film instead? Can you play that character? Because like, I prefer watching you, you know? Like, if he was to do a one-man show, I would definitely, like, he would have, like, yeah, all seats would be sold out.
Have been so lucky for whatever reason, to find sort of a lot of young kind of cast people that just click, that just create some kind of chemistry thing. And that thing not only does it make just working easier because everyone likes each other, it's fun, they take care of each other, they support each other, you know, and they bring out the best in each other. That's on set during the kind of brutal kind of, you know, production period of things. But I also think that camaraderie, which is so important for our Suna and Anaya and Noah as characters of Travis and Lydia and Owen, how they connect and truly do, like, you know, I think see each other as like family members essentially. It shows up in the movie. It's just this little unidentifiable magical thing, that chemistry that just shows up on screen, that these characters really care about each other.
It's very sweet, the journey that they go on and learning about each other, and very innocent. There's an innocence they both have, and I really like that.
There's a line that May says, and when I read the script, it popped out at me, and every time I heard her say it, she says, "Don't you understand, there's only room on this planet for one intelligent species." I don't know why that's wrong for the life of me, because it makes sense, but something about it ain't right. It has to do with intolerance or something, but I don't know. I don't know what it means, but that's the line that rings out. And the reason I bring it up is that to see humans lose everything, it sort of brings the problems that we're facing right now in a new relief.
The coolest process for finding a character that I've ever been through.
You know, I feel like as humans, we are evolving. We've created a lot of problems, but I believe that we are evolving in a positive way, even if, you know, we're constantly being reminded of all the negative. Hopefully this film just reminds us to continue on a path where we can be more honest about the reflection we see in the mirror and the imprint that we're leaving on our planet.
You've got to go and speak to people in order to learn about where they come from, in order to like broaden your mindset, and that's kind of exactly what this movie shows, I think.
Leap forward to kind of do our own thing, but still stay true and honored to not just the previous trilogy, but all the movies that have come before us. I hope people will appreciate that we try to do our own thing, but still, you know, honored what came before, and that we still kind of fit into the world. And that's been kind of our challenge, I think, is to walk that line of to be original and entertaining and new, but still feel like we fit into the big puzzle, the big tapestry of these movies.
So the cast spent over 6 weeks in ape camp. I love that, and I just would love to be there and experience it, because it just sounds like, aside from a bonding experience, what an experience to have. Can you imagine like becoming ape-like and learning all those skills? I would have loved to have been a part of that. Let me know what your thoughts are. The film is out at the beginning of May. Expect apes, humans, horses, lots of action, and the technology is advanced even more. So I think we're in for a treat. Leave a comment. Let me know if you're a fan of the originals, what you think about Wes Ball taking on this new sort of trilogy, because I feel like this is going to continue with Noah's adventures now. So we're going to move on from Caesar to Noah. So let me know how you feel about that, and make sure you subscribe, turn your notifications on, and I'll be back soon with more videos. Bye guys.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.